what about liver? Like, yeah, liver is like one of the most nutrient dense foods. But like too much liver is probably also not good because of getting like maybe too much copper and other nutrients.
Right. I think the perfect amount is between a half to 1 ounce of liver per day. That's going to help give you vitamin A, folate, and it's also going to help you give you copper, which those three nutrients are very deficient in most diets. And when you pair that with, most people should be consuming probably about 12 ounces of pastured red muscle meat for the B12, the protein, the zinc, and the iron. And then women need more than twice the amount of iron than men. So women need 18 milligrams to hit the RDA for iron. Men only need 8. So very important for women to get animal sources of iron because it's 10 times more bioavailable than plant sources.
But what if you don't eat that much meat? Like, what is a plant-based source?
Well, you got to make sure you're combining vitamin C with things like beans and spinach and other greens that are somewhat higher in iron to try to make it more bioavailable. If you don't eat a lot of animal foods, try to have your portions of meat with those plant sources, because the heme iron, and when you eat meat, it boosts the bioavailability of non-heme iron.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Like, yeah, I do believe like there's a whole lot of you can achieve with just like 1 single ounce of liver. So even if you are like on a very plant-based diet, just eating 1 ounce of liver can it can do a lot of wonders for your nutrient intake.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're smart and you select certain organs, and for someone who's primarily wants to be plant-based, it does go a long way. But I still feel that most people would be optimal if they consumed a minimal of 10 to 12 ounces of red muscle meat.
Per week or per day or?
Per day.
Okay.
Per day. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for you to hit your RDAs for protein, iron, zinc, and B12 too. And so, if you're not doing that, then all of a sudden you got to be taking B12 injections or supplementing sublingual B12. And it's just, you're sort of piecemealing what you could get from real food.
Yeah, for sure. But what about the frequency of eating those foods and getting like those minerals? So like, it's probably not a good idea to like have this massive spike in those nutrients and like not get any on for the rest of the week. So how would you like spread it out across the entire week?
Right. So that's why I don't like people consuming very large amounts of liver all at once, like once a week. So instead of consuming like 7 ounces of liver once a week, I think it's better to do like a half ounce to 1 ounce every single day if you can, or maybe 1 to 2, 3 times a week. That's a better way to do it. And typically I have I probably consume 1 to 1.5 pounds of pastured meat. But that is also coming from things like liver too and heart, because I consume muscle meat with blend. I get them as blends because most people hate the taste of liver. And so if you can buy blends from companies that are already like 75% muscle meat, 25% heart and liver, you can get those from places like White Oaks Pasture, North Star Bison, Force of Nature meat. And then if it's still too much for you, you can just add more ground beef to that. And you can either make like taco meat, or you can actually just grill them as burgers and you barely taste the liver.